Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture. Today's venture takes us to a viewer requested project. So I recently spent some time with some stencils and sprays and pastes, and gosh, I just got down and dirty. Today's portion that I'm going to show of that playtime is specifically centered around this sunflower stencil because I had made a card and I had a viewer, Miss Lisa Wolf, asked me to do a process video on how I made that particular card. So this is exactly what I did. I took my sprays, I laid my stencil down on a piece of cardstock, I sprayed through it, and then I took a print of it as well. So you'll see that process. You want to make sure when you're using sprays, if it's an oxide, if it's a mica stain or mica spray, if it has anything in it that settles at the bottom, you want to make sure that you shake that up really well. Now do it like you're ringing a bell, because whatever that particulate is that's at the bottom of your bottle will go up into your spray nozzle, and you don't want to get a clog like that. So, but you need to shake it all up so that it's not sitting there. Otherwise, you're not going to get the full effect of the spray that you have, and all those particulates can still go up into that spray, or in the sprayer. So let me say now that I'm using just regular old cardstock. I don't think this is even Nina. And you can see that it's not taking all the moisture very well. And I'm also using way too much spray. But that's just kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of heavy-handed with the spray on this particular day. But sometimes that happens. So I try this again with this same cardstock because I have lots of it already cut out and ready to go. But then here in just a little bit I switch over to watercolor card. So those first sprays were fireworks from Imagine, and these sprays are oxides, of course, from Ranger. They're distress oxides. And I think I have carved pumpkin, picked raspberry, and salvage patina. I could be wrong on those colors, but I feel pretty certain that's what I have. But you can see again, I'm getting way too heavy with the amount of spray that I'm using. But the key thing is you put down a clean piece of cardstock, you lay your stencil down, you spray, and then you take a print. And so you're getting that paint, that image twice. This happens to be the one that I use, the one that I'm about to pull from the bottom. So anyway, yeah, so I have one print over on the left, one print that I'm about to pull, not quite as detailed or as much pigment. And then this one is way oversaturated, but that turns out, like I said, to be the one that I used. And it was at this point that I realized I was just using the wrong type of paper. So out comes the watercolor card. This happens to be Fabriano. Let me see if there's anything special about it. Nope, just Fabriano, 25% cotton, 140 pound, 300 GSM. So I picked this up at Blick. But once again, I have my that same stencil that was still very, very saturated with pigment, and now I'm trying to pick it up with the watercolor card. Unfortunately, because the watercolor card is so thick and so absorbent, there's not enough of the pigment to matter. But I mean, look at all the texture. You can see the texture on that cardstock, that watercolor card. These could still be the base of something, and so I don't throw those away. I also don't show them again, but they're still in my stash. So now I wish I could remember the name of this leaf stencil. I will try to link it downstairs. Both of these are from A Colorful Life Designs, who you guys may know is my first love. And I'm just wrapping up a month of guest designing for them. So I'll try to link to them. I didn't do many videos, if I did any videos at all, to be honest, for A Colorful Life this month. But love it, and I've made so many cards and had so much fun. It's just not enough time to share them all. So I'm doing the exact same process with this leaf. It's a skeleton leaf, obviously, so I laid it down, I sprayed my fireworks sprays through it, I took a print, and then I lifted it. Way too much pigment again, and it's still wet, right? So I decided that I wanted to try to print the outline of the stencil. So I flipped it over and I sprayed it with the black fireworks spray. But what is a basic that we talk about all the time? in terms of your pigment. Wet on wet blends, which is exactly what happened, and wet on dry layers. So I wanted it to layer, and I know that I want it to layer on this one as well, on the sunflower. So I took a few minutes and I dried them both, and now here I am. I'm going to print the skeleton leaf again. I flipped it backwards and upside down, and I sprayed it with the black, and now I'm just laying it down very gently, lining up all the pieces and parts, and I'm going to hold it in place and just pat it down. Now, I have seen Jennifer McGuire do similar techniques, and she actually has a hinge situation with her pieces of cardstock, and then she runs it through her die cut machine to get a really good impression. I didn't feel like that was necessary, but that's definitely another way that you could do this. But I think that turned out really well, and I think what I want to do with the leaves in particular, I think I want to go ahead and either stamp or spray the backside, and then I want to have like them hanging from the ceiling in various colors. So this is where I have this sunflower that's way oversaturated, and it's on the regular cardstock, and I've lined it up and I flipped it over, and I'm spraying it with the Black Soot Distress Oxide. And again, way too much ink, right? But in this case, I end up not hating it. I'm able to get 2 prints, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm printing it. So keep that in mind. I'm going to lay a piece of cardstock down over it. This is one of the watercolor card prints that I picked up a little bit ago. But I just need to be able to apply that pressure. And this would be where Jennifer McGuire had put hers through her gel plate machine. Or her, not gel plate, what is that called? Die cut machine to get that pressure. But look at that. It changes the feel of that print all together, and I love it. It's so different. It shows the detail. Yeah, I really like it a lot. Now this is another one that I pulled in the very beginning. Didn't have a whole lot of detail, but I love the contrast of that kind of dark gray, because black soot really is more of a gray. And I like that with that kind of corally pink that I ended up getting when I mixed the colors of the fireworks spray. So this is a result of this particular part of the process. I cut out the part that has all the stenciling. You can see a little bit there in that top right corner. But that will hopefully be in another video soon. But I just wanted to show you guys all of these because this was the part that Miss Lisa wanted to see. And so these are all of or most of the prints that I created on this day. And it's such an easy process. Again, you lay your cardstock down, you lay your stencil down, you put your sprays through it, you take a print, boom, there you go. And I happen to use the print. So here's the card that I made. It's actually en route to Miss Lisa with some goodies in it. So I thank you, Lisa. Thank you for being such a good friend and a supporter and always so kind and generous to me. And thank you for this suggestion. And I have a few more viewer suggested videos. So if you guys want to see anything, please drop it downstairs in my comment section. I would love to hear from you. And yeah, so give me a like, a comment, subscribe, all those good things, guys. And until next time, thank you again for spending some time with me. And this is Nancy, the Handy Scandy. Mwah! I'm out.